Normally when you play poker, you're playing to beat the other players. But with The Gang, a cooperative poker game from Thames and Cosmos, you're working with the other players to pull off a series of bank heists. Pretend ones, of course. Want to see more fun game videos? Be sure to hit that subscribe button. Essentially, you've got to evaluate the strength of your own hand against the strength of everyone else's without talking about it. You do not want to bluff in this game. You can play the game with 3 to 6 players ages 10 and up. Each heist consists of 4 rounds. In the first round, each player gets 2 cards as pocket cards. Only you can look at your pocket cards. The white chips get placed in the center of the table, and these show an increasing number of stars to indicate the strength of the chips. If you think you have the strongest hand, you'll take the chip with the most stars. A hand consists of the pocket cards and the community cards, which come into play in the next round. Once each player has a white chip, you move on to round 2. One player draws 3 cards from the deck and places them face up in the center of the playing space as community cards. Then the yellow chips get placed in the center. Now each player must evaluate their pocket cards with the new cards drawn and pick which yellow chip best represents it. Once each player has a yellow chip, proceed to round 3. One more community card will be drawn from the deck, and the orange chips get laid out for the players to take. Once all players have an orange chip, it's time for the last round. Another community card is drawn from the deck, and the red chips are laid out for players to take. At this point, the only chips that matter are the red chips. Beginning with the 1-star red chip, players reveal their hands in ascending order and declare their best possible poker hand made up of exactly 5 cards. If everyone reveals equally strong or stronger hands, the heist is successful and you get to flip a vault card to the gold side. If one of you reveals a weaker hand than the previously revealed hand, the heist fails because you organized yourselves incorrectly. You'll have to flip an alarm card to the red side. Now it's time for another heist. If you flip 3 vault cards to the gold side, you win. But if you flip 3 alarm cards to the red side, everybody loses. Of course, players need to be familiar with the rankings of different card combinations from a pair to a royal flush, and this is all outlined in the instructions. There are also reference cards to remind you of the hand rankings and the flow of gameplay, perfect for those who have never played poker before. Have you ever played poker before? Let me know in the comments. If you've played poker, this version will feel familiar to you but with a twist, since you want the other players to read your face and have an idea of what cards you have. Everyone might find the communication aspect of the game tricky, but playing through a few times will help with that. You could also create your own house rules depending on the age of the players and their familiarity with poker. Too easy? There are instructions for 3 more advanced versions that use challenge and specialist cards. The pros for this are, it's a new twist on poker, the basic gameplay is easy to learn, it requires strategy, and it's a satisfying challenge to communicate your cards without actually communicating. As for cons, I do think there will be a learning curve the first few times you play, so I'm giving the game 4.5 stars. For more fun toy videos, follow us on TikTok at The Toy Authority.